such an asshole!
Oh, Jesus, I do look like shit. Oh, crap, look at that. Sorry, we're doing asshole consulting here, ladies and gentlemen, and the old captain is behind because he had to fly down to Florida. And, I don't know, the phone's going to be all extra special cunty today. This is how we do it on the roads, guys. God, I do look like shit. I got shaved. There we go. Okay, so we have video requests. If you have a video request, you could go to assholeconsulting.com, or a regular request. Doesn't have to be a video request. Send me your questions, and yes, I do charge. Hello, I am a male, youngish male. I'm going to anonymize this as much as I can. No kids, with roughly $10,000 in debt, working in the finance industry for a large banking corporation in their home mortgage division. I've been at this position for 2 years, and the pay is decent at $19 an hour, which allows me to pay for a studio apartment, car, food, clothes, and hobbies in my time off. I am also in a self-induced debt snowball plan and will... God damn. Sorry, this is the only way to really do it. I wish I had 2 screens. No, don't fucking goddamn phone. And will be out of debt in a year. I love a low-key minimalist lifestyle, although not really due to my pay, but because I hate having extra stuff and try to have less stuff every time I move. Yeah, that's a good thing to have, man. You have no idea how liberating that is. And it really does open up. Chicks never understand that. They think life is shit. Like all this crap and trinkets and shit. The more shit is the queen. The woman with the most crap is Queen Bee. And then they give her a title. Oh, look, I'm Queen Bee. And meanwhile, you're like, dude, I got 1 fork, 1 bowl, 1 spoon, a crotch rocket, and a backpack and a laptop. And you're out there running around. And then they got storage. I never understood these idiots. There should be no such thing as storage. Yeah, there's the self-storage. What is it? A bunch of female crap. Nuclear bomb ever hits us and we wipe ourselves out. The aliens are going to come in like, who stored all this shit? Look at this civilization. Why do they have all this crap? What's going on? However, I'm slowly losing my sanity because of the company I work for and the long stretches of overtime. I want to earn more than $19 an hour. 30 to 40 would be ideal. Well, yeah, of course. Who wouldn't like to double their salary? But I am unsure how to get there. I am one of those guys who went through public school and was expected to go to college, and so I did. I didn't have a plan. I went because it's just what we were supposed to all do. I majored in English literature, with the only reasoning being that I got the best grades. And this reasoning was accepted by those who were supposed to give me guidance. Yeah, but everyone's a fucking idiot, especially your parents and teachers. So I get a bachelor's in English literature and realized too late in the process I didn't want to teach. Teaching ain't a real job. What the fuck is it with you little fucking high schooler? It was the same with my grade. I'm going to become a teacher. It's like you're 16, dude. You haven't even graduated from high school. How are you going to have the wisdom in adulthood to teach younger kids? Like, what the fuck? It's the most arrogant, lazy thing anyone could do is at 17 declare an education major. That's why most teachers suck, because you fucking do. We teach the truth. Fuck you. I knew that there was something wrong in my education. It was also propagandist, repetitive, and liberal that I didn't want to be a part of that higher ed sham, but I didn't know how to fight it, and I was still figuring out what was happening. Any help or guidance I thought from adults amounted to what you've already ranted about. Money follows the heart, get the MBA, get a master's in your degree because college, etc. No one talked about sellable skills, and I was never taught I needed sellable skills. See, this is where, right now, let's bring politics into it. This is where you kids are dumped into the real world after the K through college education, the industrial complex. Ooh, we all worried about the military and the industrial complex. Yeah, at least those motherfuckers protect us. At least we get some bang for our buck with the military spending. Education, you guys just got ass raped. You just were abused and used for the money that your parents paid in taxes and you paid in tuition from the age of 5 to 20 fucking 5. And the bankers are evil. Oh, it's the evil corporations, man. It's the military-industrial Yeah, how about fucking child abuse? How about stealing children's futures and putting you into so much motherfucking debt you can never get out? Oh, yeah, but teachers are great. Teachers are great because they said the right political things, right? They believe in global warming. And so that's all good. Fucking sheep, man. You're all just fucking sheep. Not this guy, but you fuck... For what, you millennial dipshits now going to college thinking that this is the end-all, be-all. You're just so smart. Just go to college and money. I got gypped and lied to by people I trusted, at best by misinformed counselors, but learned this too late. So after college, I worked a multitude of jobs through temp agencies and worked 2 part-time jobs for about 8 years to make ends meet, trying to figure out what to do. Eventually, through inertia, I got more and more temp jobs from mortgage companies, and eventually temp as a closer for the above company. The job is often soul-crushing, requires long hours, and is stressful in ways it doesn't need to be, i.e. corporate garbage. Yeah, that's all over the place. What keeps me there is the pay and bonuses, but when it comes to the cost of my sanity and... Let's go to the next image. Comes to my sanity and... It comes at the cost of my sanity and health. Yeah, I know the company you're working for. I would never work there. I worked there before. You don't. They're not. That's not a human. Oh no, corporation. This is the corporation you're working for is the least humane. Not that they're beating you or anything like that, but they don't give a flying fuck. You're a cog, dude, and you're always gonna be a cog until you get your doctorate or master's. You're not going anywhere in that firm, and I would get the fuck out of it. Plus all this extra... Oh, doesn't need to be. Plus all this extra pay is mitigating by all the extra taxes I pay being a single male. Many times it isn't worth it. I want my time to be worth more per hour while also keeping my sanity. There's certainly no way to earn more than $30 an hour in this job unless I work there for the rest of my life and go into management, which you don't want to do. I've seen people that go into management in this company and they don't have any other life. You don't. This isn't Goldman Sachs, by the way. People that is this Goldman? No, but it might as well be because it's Goldman Sachs without the pay or the prestige or the opportunities to go and fuck up our nation's finances at a government gig after you retire. There's certainly no way to earn more than 30 for this job. Management. I won't do that because my company is so left-wing, it is near nauseating, not to mention the standard corporate garbage, and drives me crazy to be in management is to drink the Kool-Aid. On principle, I cannot do that. I'm looking for an out, a way to transition away from corporatism. However, because of my education being useless to me and my skills only being immediately useful in the mortgage setting, I'm stuck on what I do. I want to leave my company as soon as possible. I'm interested in the IT field as their skill set demands a higher wage. But is it too late to get a certification in IT for networking or programming? Should I go back to school and go in debt? How do I do this? Is it too late? I feel like I don't have a lot of time left, so I want to invest it wisely. Pick a course and follow it to freedom. Any help is greatly appreciated. Also, I'm currently reading Bachelor Pad Economics and enjoying the decline is next on the docket. You've put many things into words that I've sensed for a long time. And agree to conditions. So, all right. Well, you're too old to join the military, which is what I would have recommended because I always recommend you join the military. But since that's not an option because you're an old fart, you have to go and do something else. And this gets back. We've had a couple of videos like this talking about ageism. Am I too old to get into IT? No. What's your choice? Not go into IT? Not go into STEM? You're gonna go major, get your English degree, and become a teacher? Yeah, dude. Even if there is such a thing as ageism, which I'm kind of having a hard time believing, I'm wondering if it's just a shortage of skills, like you haven't kept up with the skills in IT. So what? There's ageism. It's the same paradox, the black tax, which actually is a thing. If you read my book, Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, minorities in general, particularly black men, they got to face a thing. Okay, people are going to have presumptions about me, and I'm going to pay this black tax, which means I'm going to have to work harder. I'm going to have to overcome prejudgments and discrimination. And, you can go and do what the majority of the black community does, and that is pout and scream and whine and complain. Or you could say, all right, doing that's not going to solve the problem. I'm going to still kick ass and do my best anyway, because that's still in your best interest. So I don't care about the ages. You're not too old. You're going to be more employable with an electrical engineering degree than if you sit there and not get it. All right? And then, is it worth it? I don't know. Navel gaze. And then, okay, that's going to guarantee you're not going to do well. So yeah, I think you can go into some other field that isn't English or mortgage companies. Now, if you like your job, seems like you like your job, you don't hate it, it really is the company you're working for. I can guarantee you that. Not that being working in the mortgage industry is going to be exciting, but it could be better. It could be tolerable. And so what I would do is I would start looking for companies that are not that. I mean, don't go with these multi-billion-dollar companies. I would go and look maybe at a credit union. The pace there is definitely going to be slower. They're not as smart. I mean, I know they're pretty stupid where you're working now, but when you go to a credit union, that's like going to Retardsville. But it's slower, and the people are kind of dumber. And you could pat them on the head, and you can almost run circles around your bosses, and almost you have to, unless you get a sharp boss. Then that's cool, because you don't have that, we gotta work this kind of corporation way, and then we're gonna go to training, and then they're not this big, large corporate. So I'd consider a small community bank. I'd consider credit union, maybe a smaller regional bank. Just get the fuck out of that big-ass corporation you're in. That will solve, hopefully, I'm thinking about 60-65% of your problems. The problem, though, is you're still going to be in finance and banking, and these people are retarded. This is why we have to constantly bail them out. People really bail them out? No, there was the S&L bailout, and then we actually have been bailing them out. If you look throughout the history of the United States, there's multiple times the stock market and finance industry has been bailed out. So you're just dealing with not super intelligent, let alone moral people. You really are dealing with the rejects of society, and if we had let them all fail, these people would have been fired, the finance industry would have shrunk, and we'd have more competent people, but we keep bailing them out. So we never get rid of the bacteria that infect the industry and the inferiors, so they're still there. So don't think you're going to have a rewarding career in banking, but it can be better than the company you're working at now. And certainly is something that I would consider you do immediately, just so you don't give up your job. You still have money coming in as a mortgage person, and then you pursue your other career part-time, going to school or something like that. But yeah, you got to get out of that corporation. There's just, and then they might come back. They might come back and say, "Well, we'll give you more money." Like, no, you're not. I mean, and there you got them, but you'd have to like really structure it and say, "No, I'm not working any more overtime. I'm not dealing with the corporate politics. I never go to diversity training ever again." And it just isn't worth it, even if they come back. I say, get the fuck off that ship and go to another. So then you work at another smaller, less stressful company. You make your money. Maybe you study IT, but you may also find out that you could get into lending. You could become a mortgage lender. Because you're not, in your large corporation, you're not going to get promoted. You're just not, because they got billions of people that are working for them, and they're just going to take the top, not best performers, but the biggest cocksuckers. And those are the people that are going to be put in charge of you. The smaller community banks are going to say, wow, you got some experience. Maybe we could put you on a little bit more of a fast track, not towards management, but lending, a slightly better position that pays a little bit more. But that's if you want to stay in banking. So now, what you should study in the non-banking field, I can't tell you, dude. You might have some good skills working in banking to become an accountant. But again, that has a little bit of progressive credentialism. I'm always big on STEM, the engineerings and all that, but you're going to have to start from zero. I mean, you got your prereqs out of the way, but you're looking at two and a half years of completely new studies. But as long as it pays and you have an interest in it, that's all you can really say. Like I like to say, you're in the ballpark, but I can't tell you what to major in. I can't say, oh yeah, you're going to make a great chemical engineer. I don't know. I do know that being a chemical engineer is better than being a fucking English major. So look into computer networking if you want, computer security, programming. A lot of that more IT computer stuff can be self-taught and is more certification-based than degree-based. You could become a geology major, you could go become a chemical engineering major, electrical engineering major. You're going to have to spend some time to figure that out. And that's actually going to be in the topic of my next book, which is a pretty fucking cool book. Guide. I hate to call it a book. I can't call it a book because then it's just so thin. It's only 120 pages. So it's a guide. I admit it's a guide. It's coming up. But you can, in the meantime, Worthless and Bachelor Pad, those will totally take care of it. I mean, at least give you an idea. But in the end, you're the one that's going to pull the trigger on the new degree. So I go out, sample some things online. I mean, seriously, spend an hour a day looking up shit online, listening to tutorials, downloading podcasts, saying, okay, does this kind of interest, that kind of... Go to Engineered Truth on YouTube and search Matt Tran. He's kind of an associate, colleague, shall we say. He has a lot of people that he'll interview about different types of degrees in what they can expect to work as a mechanical engineer, as a chemical engineer, and that's really good. So search his site and you'll get a good idea of what to expect. Anyway, hope that helps out, but yeah, get the fuck out of that company, man. Best of luck to you. Toodles.